Hey! Hi! How you doing? This is Ryan, and welcome back to the Gamertron Show. Even though the year 2023 has just begun, I'm not done looking back at 2022 in video gaming and celebrating all of the great games that came out last year. Indie video games, in particular. Now, every year, we are delivered a plethora of fantastic indie gems to experience. I mean, just the year before, 2021, we got such amazing titles like Kena, Bridge of Spirits, Grime, Solar Ash, Pray for the Gods, Little Nightmares 2, Ender Lilies, Road 96, Tormented Souls, Tales of Iron, Chernobylite, Minute of Islands, GTFO, and so many more absolutely spectacular indie video games. And just when you think we've climaxed, we've hit the peak of quality, it can't possibly get any better, then in comes the year 2022 to present to us contenders for what may be some of the new greatest video games of all time ever released. Coming from the indie space in particular, of course. It's a long list to go through with so many great games, so we better get started. We'll begin with the indie video games that I actually own and have played, and then transition into all the other indie games that came out in 2022 that I do not personally own yet but are absolutely deserving of recognition and praise. Going by release dates from the end of the year to the start of the year, from my personal library we have Chop Goblins, Choo Choo Charles, The Entropy Center, such a great game, an excellent spiritual successor and homage to the Portal franchise, a must-own if you enjoy first-person physics-based puzzle games. Then we have Signalus, an easy Game of the Year contender, one of the best survival horror video games ever made and released, an instant classic and must-play if you are into the survival horror genre. Signalus is damn near a masterpiece. Such a beautiful and haunting video game, I can't recommend it enough. Then we have Deadlink, which released in early access. Even though the game isn't even near finished, the gameplay experience is so polished, so refined, so well designed, that if you're a fan of first-person shooters and or roguelikes, you absolutely have to pick up and play Deadlink. I personally find it to be an absolute blast to play. Up next, we have Potionomics, yet another easy contender for Game of the Year. Potionomics is the embodiment, the very definition of charming. The visuals with the designs of characters and the environments, the music, the endlessly impressive and expressive animations of everything. The game just overwhelms your senses with charm and cuteness and vibrant colors everywhere. And then there's the gameplay, which is so addictive with systems upon systems that feed into each other. Who knew that running and managing your own magical potion shop in a fantasy world would be so much fun and so satisfying to play? Potionomics is an absolute must-buy, must-play, right up there with Signalus, another instant indie classic. Up next, we have Proteus, which is a simple, straightforward homage to old-school first-person shooters. A badass boomer shooter, if you would, with an obvious love and inspiration and making homage to old-school Doom. It's got a lengthy, content-rich campaign that can be played in single-player or in co-op. It's got a robust map maker and level editor tool, allowing for infinite community-generated content. If you're a first-person shooter fan, then Proteus is a must-play. Oh, and speaking of must-play first-person shooters, up next we have Metal Hellsinger. Easily the best first-person shooter rhythm game of all time. Gorgeous visuals and graphics, some absolutely badass and fun-as-hell weapons to play around with, and easily one of the best video game soundtracks of all time.
Me? I'm just a fan. I'm still here. Holding on. Let this fire, let this torture last. It's so beyond this age. It's all beyond that scar. You always spoke the truth, but never knew it all. Never knew it all. Just wanna take on now.
For some people, this game is a dream come true, without a doubt. I absolutely recommend this one. Oh my goodness, and the indie first-person shooters just keep coming. Up next, we have Attica, a game which asks the question, What would happen if Half-Life, Halo, and Stalker all had a baby? The answer is, of course, Attica, featuring an extremely well-crafted combination of both linear level design and more wide open world level design, with solid first-person shooter gunplay, intertwined with a great deal of physics-based interactivity. It's got a meaty single-player campaign, an open-world survival mode, and a horde mode to boot. Look, if you love Half-Life, this is the spiritual successor you've been waiting for. You gotta pick up and play Attica. Oh my goodness gracious, the indie first-person shooters just don't stop. Up next, we have Turbo Overkill, which released into early access. Oh boy, how to describe this one? Okay, what if Doom Eternal, Ultra Kill, and Cyberpunk had a baby? You know what? I'm underselling the game. Here, just watch the trailer. If you are a fan of first-person shooters, in particular Doom Eternal, you absolutely must own and must play Turbo Overkill. It's right up there with Ultra Kill as one of the greatest first-person shooters of all time that's still in early access. Finally, last, but certainly not least, we have Dawn of Monsters. A 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up where you get to play as giant monsters or giant mechs fighting other giant monsters. Look, the game is just a loving homage to 2D side-scrolling beat-em-ups and the kaiju and mecha genres. It's fun. It's just fun. I really like it. I really enjoy it. I want to give this game a shout out and recommend it if you're a fan of any of the things previously mentioned. Dawn of Monsters is just cool and fun. Ah, man, I almost feel ashamed. I mean, I really shouldn't. It's unreasonable to expect one person to play every video game that releases in a year, but there were so many other simply spectacular indie games that I haven't even played, but I've seen them, I've seen others play them, and I know for a fact that these are just some awesome titles, deserving of praise and recognition. So now, let's go down my Steam wishlist to celebrate and acknowledge all of the amazing indie games that came out in 2022 that I unfortunately did not get a chance to buy and play myself, but I'm going to shout them out regardless. Again, going by release date from the end of the year to the beginning of the year, starting us off, we have Blacktail. Then, River City Girls 2. God, I really need to play the first one. After that, we have yet another easy Game of the Year contender, Lil Gator Game. And I'm not being sarcastic, it's not a joke, I'm not trying to be funny. Seriously, Lil Gator Game is an easy Game of the Year contender, a simply perfect game for kids and the whole family. The game is cute, it's wholesome, it's endlessly charming. If you're a parent, you gotta pick up this game for your kids. All of the 4 to 9-year-olds are absolutely gonna love this game. Now, teenagers most likely won't appreciate the game, but adults who crave childhood, childlike wonder, and nostalgia, the game will most likely evoke some emotions, bring a tear to your eye, and bring back some old, happy memories. Seriously, no joke, Lil Gator Game, easy Game of the Year contender. Up next, we have Wavetail, and I want this game so bad. I so want to play this. I hope I'll get a chance to pick it up sometime in the near future. I would hate to make my top 10 favorite games of the year 2022 and not having played Wavetail. Even having not played the game, just looking at gameplay footage, I know I'm gonna absolutely love this game. I'd say an absolutely underrated platformer. Definitely check out Wavetail. Up next, we have Scorn, which, yes, is an indie game. And what a fascinating and divisive game it is. The people who like Scorn really like Scorn. The visuals, the aesthetics, the graphics are undeniably beautiful and haunting and so well designed. I do hope to play Scorn one day and form my own opinion on the game. I'm so curious whether I would like this game or not. I'm still going to shout it out and recommend it regardless, as it was nonetheless crafted by passionate developers with a clear vision in mind. I would say that everyone should at least try Scorn. It's an experience that should at the very least be tried. Up next we have Moonscars, more of that 2D side-scrolling Metroidvania Dark Souls goodness, baby! I love, simply love how the 2D side-scrolling Metroidvania Souls-like subgenre has just exploded in the indie scene, and it's produced so many instant hits and classics. Moonscars among them. Up next we have Incision, more early access boomer shooter goodness. I've seen and heard nothing but good things about Incision. Can't wait to check it out myself. Up next, The Wandering Village in early access. I cannot wait to pick up and play this game, and I cannot wait for the full release. What a simply superb premise for a city builder sim game. Having to build and manage your city while on top of this giant creature, and trying to live in harmony with it. Such a brilliant premise and such a charming looking game. Absolutely gonna pick up and play this for myself, and I absolutely recommend it. Up next, we have Broken Pieces. Oh, what's this? More survival horror games inspired by Silent Hill and old school Resident Evil? Yes, please, sign me up. Definitely looking forward to picking up and playing this one as well. Up next, Immortality. Who doesn't love solving a good mystery? Getting enriched and invested in a story and its characters. Immortality has that in spades. This game made it into a lot of people's top 10 favorite games of the year 2022 lists, and I can't blame them. I totally see why. Looking forward to playing the game myself sometime. Up next, Ilettes. Yet another 2D side-scrolling Metroidvania with a simply gorgeous animated cartoon art style. Simply put, the game just looks charming and fun. Surprisingly enough, if you're a fan of Hollow Knight, perhaps check out Ilettes. Up next, Fimesia. An obvious love letter to Souls-likes, whether it be Dark Souls or Bloodborne. Well, Bloodborne in particular. I played the demo for this and had a good time with it. Definitely looking forward to buying and playing the full game sometime in the future. And hey, if you like Souls-like games and can't get enough of them, definitely check out Fimesia. Up next, we have yet another Game of the Year contender, Cult of the Lamb. This is again yet another video game I've seen make into a lot of people's top 10 favorite games of 2022 lists. And with very good reason, combining all these different genres together. 2D hack and slash action games, roguelikes, base builders and managers, creating a totally unique experience that I would argue, even as someone who hasn't played the game myself, I would still argue that the game is a must-buy and a must-play. I certainly intend to buy and play it when I can. What a wonderful, quirky, charming little game. About building a cult and sacrificing them to an eldritch god, no less. But you're a cute little lamb, so it's okay. Up next, the Mortuary Assistant. I played the demo for this game on a live stream. The future! It's now. It's here. Ah! Fuck you, Devolution! I read what you wrote in chat! Fuck! I shouldn't have listened to you! Why'd I read chat? I shouldn't have read chat! God damn it! Yeah, I can confidently say that the Mortuary Assistant joins some of the greatest first-person horror games of all time. It's a must-buy and must-play for fans of the horror genre. I have every intention of buying and playing the full complete game when I can muster the courage and the money to do so. Up next, we have Hell Pie. What if you took the video game A Hat in Time and made it crude and lewd? Well, you'd get Hell Pie, a third-person platformer collectathon that just looks like a blast to play, and it's obvious the developers were having a lot of fun with the premise. It's wacky, it's goofy, it's not taking itself seriously. It looks like a great time. I personally recommend it for fans of this genre, and I'm going to be playing it myself when I can. Now, you've all heard of Stray, the cat game. You don't need a shout out and recommendation from me. You've most likely already played the game yourself and you've seen it everywhere. So let me ask you this. You've heard of Stray, the cat game. Have you heard of Enderling, Extinction is Forever? The fox game? In Enderling, you get to play as a mother fox and you have to take care of your adorable little baby foxes. If you liked Stray, I have no doubt that you will fall in love with Enderling. Easy recommendation from me. Looking forward to playing this one. I know it's gonna make me cry. Up next we have Spidersaurus, a 2D platformer shoot 'em up. Look, the whole premise of the game is that you are shooting at and battling insect dinosaur mutants. It's a simple game, it's a straightforward game. The 2D animated cartoon art style looks gorgeous, and it just looks like a fun time. Easy recommendation from me. Up next we have Madison, yet another first-person survival horror game. While this is certainly a bloated and crowded genre, I've seen and heard nothing but good things about Madison. It's apparently a very well-made, quality love letter to the horror genre. So if you love first-person horror and can't get enough of it, maybe check out Madison. Now last, but certainly not least, on my indie wishlist for 2022, we have Anno Mutationum. Look, if you like stylized pixel art, 2D side-scrolling action, and deep RPG customization, you can't go wrong with Anno. This is another one I absolutely intend to buy and play someday. I'd argue that the game is totally underrated and could easily make it into a lot of people's top 10 favorite games of 2022 if they took the time to check out and play this game. Oh, good God, we're done! For now at least. There were so many amazing, incredible, fantastic, stupendous indie video games that came out in 2022. And this video was only scratching the surface. I limited this video to talking about the smaller budget, smaller team, indie video games specifically. If I had broadened our horizons and enabled the full spectrum of indie video games, I'd include AA middle market games such as Evil West, The Chant, Asterigos, Curse of the Stars, Solstice, Steel Rising, and of course, A Plague Tale Requiem. So many good games! Too many good games to play! Man, making my top 10 favorite video games of 2022 is gonna be difficult as all hell. So many amazing, incredible, great games to pick from. So yeah, if you're an actual cool person who has common sense and good tastes in video games, and doesn't just only play popular AAA multiplayer shooters, then you as a gamer were eating very, very well in 2022. So much variety, so much creativity, so much inspiration, so much originality of all things. I can easily make the statement that 2022 was one of the best years ever for indie video games. God bless them, be sure to support them, and thank you for watching this video. If you did indeed like the video, then please be sure to leave a comment, hit the like button, and share the video on social media, Twitter, Reddit, and Facebook. If you want to help out and support me directly, please consider making a donation via the YouTube Super Thanks feature, or clicking the button to my Buy Me a Coffee page in the description down below. Anyways, that's been a video. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all later.